Welcome back to New York 1. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jack Siegel, and welcome to a podcast orange. This is my co-host, Tom Crescenzo.
Hi, guys. It's good to be here. My name is Tom Crescenzo. How you doing, Jack? Why do we sound so depressed?
I don't sound depressed.
Right.
I don't
Jack's just like, I don't sound depressed, and he's like tying a rope to the ceiling. He's like, what makes me look depressed?
You and Manny and everyone, all the comics always think I sound and look depressed. And you know what? I'm happy as a clam right now.
Well, I mean, clams don't look happy to me at all. In fact, they look like they live depressing lives.
Yeah, they never get out of their shell.
Exactly. They're always having to drag themselves by the foot.
You gotta tell them to leave their shell every now and again.
Yeah.
You know?
They need to come out of their shells.
Yeah. Speaking of coming out.
Oh.
I don't have.
Yeah, right. Like speaking of coming out, Larry King is dead.
Larry King is dead.
Yep.
Hank Aaron died
of the week.
yesterday too.
Who the fuck is Hank Aaron?
Come on, you don't know who Hank Aaron is? Are you fucking serious right now?
I do not.
Oh my god.
Why are you rolling your eyes at me?
Everybody knows who Hank Aaron is. Get the fuck out of here.
Remind me.
He was the
Remind me then if he's so fucking important.
He was like the home run leader all time.
I don't give a shit about baseball, man.
Okay, but even if you don't care about baseball, you should know who Hank Aaron is. He's as famous as like Babe Ruth.
I didn't know that Hank Aaron existed until this exact moment in 2021.
Yes, you did. You definitely heard the name before.
I've heard of Jackie Robinson.
Well, okay. All right. Well,
I've heard of Here's the baseball players I know. Jackie Robinson.
You know more.
Fuck, I forgot the guy who was on the Mets. Yeah, that's all. It would have been another. Yeah, that's
Mike Piazza.
That's it. Jackie Robinson, Mike Piazza.
I thought you said you were a Mets fan.
Well, yeah, I was until 2006 when they fucking lost to the Cardinals and made me actually hate baseball for the rest of my life.
Why? Because they lost.
Basically, yeah. It was because it was just such a crushing moment. Like I was 10 years old. I was so excited.
Carlos Beltran.
I was literally so fucking excited about them like winning and like there was also that crazy ass catch by what's his name who made that catch where he like caught the home run like literally caught it over the fence like.
Who, on the Mets or St. Louis?
On the Mets. It was like an insane fucking catch. Like it was like in newspapers.
I don't remember.
Oh, I forgot, but I remember that catch was fucking crazy. But
it might have been Beltran too, because he played right.
I think it was Beltran actually, but
he struck out looking though.
He did
the last game.
Yeah.
He got fired last year. Because he was involved in that whole cheating scandal.
Oh shit!
With the Astros. Okay, so
before we go into that, like,
yeah.
That's the thing is like during that whole stretch of games, I was so into it and I like loved it and like I remember leaving. You would like leave the school. Oh, well, you'd leave school and like you'd go out of class and like everyone's funneling into the hallway like after school and like the whole hall is just chanting "Let's go Mets," like not "Let's go Yankees" or like Giants or anything like that.
It was a Mets game.
It was yeah, and it was just like no, but like but it's like there was never a time in my life where everyone was a Met fan. Everyone always hated the fucking Mets.
Yeah, that's true.
And like it was always like you're a Met fan, like your team fucking blows. Like why don't you like the Yankees?
That was back when they that was when they were at Shea Stadium too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been to Shea Stadium many times. So
me
like,
too.
Believe me, there was a time when baseball was a huge part of my life.
So it was 2006 that did it for you.
Yeah, because I was just like after that last game, I literally was like so depressed about it that I was like, you know what? I'm just never gonna watch baseball again. Like I'm never gonna care about it. I'm never gonna follow it. I'm never gonna engage. Even remotely, and honestly with all sports. I kind of made the decision about all sports. I'm like, I'm not even really going to care about like football anymore. And I just didn't. And that was it. The Mets actually took a sports fan away from the world. And it was me. That's how shitty of a team they are.
If any team can do it, it's the Mets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're so shitty of a team.
Historically shitty team.
Yeah.
They, their GM, I think it was their GM. I could be wrong, who just got fired.
Their gay mother?
they're gay.
They're gay mom. It's just some dyke with short hair. It's like, what the fuck do you mean I'm fired, sweetie?
I'm the Mets GM. My name is Terry, and I'm the drummer.
Hi, my name is Harriet. I am the GM for the Mets. She's just like doing shrugs with like 90-pound dumbbells. She's like,
fucking piercings all over the place. Tattoos and haircut of a rooster.
Yeah, right. She has like a lightning bolt in her like a lightning bolt fade on the side of her head.
It's funny, and this is gonna be fucked up, but it's funny how like men naturally act different around lesbians than we do with straight women. Like when I meet a lesbian,
it depends on the kind of
like,
lesbian.
If it's like a very butch lesbian,
the butch ones,
it's like, hey, what's up, bro?
I mean, kind of, yeah. Especially if they're like, if you're cool with them.
Yeah, you like.
It's actually pretty interesting how they like trans
like
people.
Dudes,
people are not like and no offense to trans people, obviously, but they're not.
It's always a great way to start off of this.
This is always a great way to begin the episode. No
offense to trans people.
We're all right. Like,
I wonder every sentence that comes after "no offense to trans people" it's just gonna be crazy.
It's just gonna offend trans people.
Let's see. Just because they heard those
words. It's just more like. You know, when you see, like, a trans person, you know, even if they're, like, a really good transition, it still feels different, like, you know, than just, like, talking to a dude, you know what I mean? Like, but, like, when you meet a lesbian, it does kind of feel like talking to a dude. It's weird, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally just like, yo, what up, bro? And, like, you dap and shit, and it's like, yo, it's good. You want to smoke?
I used to have a lesbian friend in college, and we would, like, go to a party. And she'd be like, yo, that girl's got a nice ass. I'd be like, yeah, she does. I'm like, it's nice to have, like, a friend.
That's what's cool about them,
to be like, that's a girl that could be like,
It's cool to have a chick who can objectify other women with you. Yeah. That's literally what it is.
It's nice to have, like, a nice sexist
It's nice to have a
bro
with a vagina. That's what it is. It's nice
because they're cool.
It takes the creepiness factor away from it. Because really, when it's
there's no chance of like
when it's you and your like male friend and you're like at the gym, it's just like, yo, do you see that girl's ass? It's like, oh my god, yeah, she's so hot. Like you guys sound
it down.
You sound right, like sound like fucking apes. Like it's like you're drooling and dragging your knuckles around like. But if you're hanging with your lesbian friend and it's like she's just like, yo, that girl's so hot, it's like, and you just hear you're like, yeah, like she has giant tits, and she's like, yeah, it's like, then it's like the creepiness is gone and you're just enjoying like a chick with big titties. Like, it's great.
She's not gonna rape her. Although I wonder if there probably are lesbian rapists like that. Just I don't know. I've never heard of that before.
I mean, like, you know, there's probably, I'm sure. Like, there's probably... I've learned that there's generally a version of anything for everything, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was growing up, my dad used to say, like, people are, like, really, like, if you can think of the most sick, deranged thing possible, like, someone's probably at least tried to attempt it. That's how, like, twisted human beings are.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel that's definitely true.
It's like
because, like,
Pornhub on pornos is, like, any idea there's like a porno made about
right, yeah, it's like Rule 34 of the internet from back in the day where it's like there's porn of it, no exceptions.
We are like we're the only creatures on Earth that like masturbate to other.
Not only we're the only creatures we're the only creatures on the planet that depict ourselves fucking. Like there's never been any evidence other than like elephants who are trained and shit, like of animals drawing pictures willingly. And even if they are, like, no other species has ever just depicted itself like fucking. Maybe like people have like maybe like if a chimp ever drew itself, it might draw its dick, but that doesn't even count. And I'm sure that I bet there's never been a chimp. I'd be willing to bet money that no chimps have ever drawn a picture. But
yeah. Well, you know what else?
Even if they were, they definitely never depicted sex. That's their point. Even if they had that capability.
Here is me and Rosa.
I don't know, Jamie. Could you pull that article up about chimps?
Here's me and Rosa after the stick of bamboo. We just got it on, like they just.
Yeah, right. Me and Rosa. He's like this beautiful photo of us on the riverbed, and it's just like them hanging from a tree with like a dead orangutan, and like they're probably.
But you know what it is? Humans also are the only creatures that masturbate to like our own species. Like
well,
you're not gonna see like animals.
Bonobos do masturbate, kind of.
To like other chimpanzees fucking.
Well, they're not like it's not like what we do. Like they don't jerk off, but they'll like the thing about bonobo chimp society is like it's weird. It's like
other animals jerk off.
They don't like. Well, animals will just
dogs.
Animals
Dogs
touch themselves.
Dogs
lick their dick.
They like hump each other and they hump beds and shit.
Yeah, and also your leg.
Because they have like.
And also me, if I'm feeling frisky. But,
it's me, depending on how happy I am that night.
I don't know. It depends on how many drinks I have. One
if
to
the
two.
dog can charm me,
Ooh, I like that tail wagging, baby. Fleas. We'll make it work.
Everybody's gonna fuck it.
You're just picking fleas out of your.
Dude, that's where humans are. That's where humans are eventually going. Is we're eventually gonna start like. Fucking their dogs.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Like, we get yes, we have a new president and everything's the dust is kind of settled.
We might start fucking
but
our dogs.
We might still start fucking our dogs. Like, basically, what I'm saying is just because Trump is gone doesn't mean that America is any less close to being.
Well, that was actually on Biden's campaign slogan. He said, "Vote for me." If I become president, we're all gonna fuck our dogs.
Like, and then it's just like a photo of Hunter Biden fully naked, railing a chihuahua, like
and like chihuahua. I was thinking like a bigger dog. Fucking.
Nah, he wants one that he can. I'm
thinking about this logically.
Yeah, nah. See, I want to add more credence. Like, I like to think Hunter Biden likes to split the insides of the animal with his dick. He doesn't just want a pussy. He wants to feel like he's winning.
He's a dominant male.
But getting back to what I was saying about chimps.
Yes, they
bonobos they're just a crazy like regular chimps are very violent.
Bonobos
they'll beat regular chimps are very violent. They'll beat the shit out of each other. But bonobos don't even rape. They just fuck.
No, I've read that they. Well, I've read that they rape.
Well, I've read that they don't. Have you cited your source, sir? Do you have a bibliography?
We need a.
I'd like to see an APA style cited bibliography.
We need corncob pipes and to be in front of a fireplace.
We need monocles, just like. I feel like we should be like. We should really just be those two movie critics from the Muppets. You know what I mean?
Waldorf.
It's like, well, did you see that, Ryan? It's like, Ryan, I saw a better one last night when I came home to my wife.
Oh yeah, yeah. On the what do you call that thing that's like in the play? A balcony.
Balcony, yes.
Why am I such a retard?
Yeah, why can't you keep the flow of a bit going? You're like, I'm like, hey, here's a bit. You're like, wait, is that like from where?
That's not true.
That is not true. That is not. You're like, that's not true. I'm better at riffing than that.
I have a good bit.
No,
all right, I fucked up that bit.
You do.
You know what?
Fine.
I fucked up.
It wasn't that good of a bit anyway. It was stupid.
We should all be like Statler and.
But what I was trying to fucking say about fucking bonobo chimps. It's like it's such an important point. Like, what I have to say, damn it, about these chimps.
Everyone listen up.
Is that I want to fuck one. No.
Everybody listen.
It's really... Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Potato heads and...
Yeah, Mixture McConnell head is here. But we have a giant stuffed Mr. Potato Head.
We have a guest.
Mitch McConnell is here, but...
It's a giant stuffed Mr. Potato Head.
How you feeling? Some ASMR.
This would be better if we had like an actual camera.
Yeah, just like.
Actually,
I wonder if that's like relaxing for anybody who's listening. Like,
I don't understand how ASMR is relaxing for people.
I mean, I know the feeling, but the feeling isn't relaxing to me. It's like
saying.
It makes me like it's like
unpleasant.
Like
I don't like it.
Because have you ever had like a doctor like doing some shit and then they like I don't know they like touch your like neck or something? It's like like get the fuck away from that. Like you know what I mean? It doesn't feel good. Like it's like if it's a chick, even if it's like a chick you're having sex with, like that a lot of girls will be like like whisper in my ear, like bite my ear, and then they'll try to do it to me. I'll be like, please don't do that. Like
no, I don't
like what that. Is that not hot? It's like no, it actually really takes me out of it.
It's
like,
really weird. The ASMR shit though is just gross. I mean I don't know. I
don't even think it's gross. It's just not for me. Like I understand it because I know exactly the feeling. It has a name. It's like
I know
anal sex masturbating,
anal
sex.
shitting,
anal shitting,
masturbating,
anal shitting MAGA,
anal shitting MAGA retard,
MAGA retard, anal shitting Make America Great Again retard. That's what it stands for.
That's what ASMR is.
Yeah,
most people don't know that,
but it really like means like. I don't know what it refers to, but it's just like a response to a feeling.
It's a feeling you get like in a certain part of your body.
Yeah.
That you know.
Most people.
A certain part of your body, you get the feels.
You get the willies. Have you ever gotten the butterflies when you see a boy on the playground?
I got a tingling in my lady clam.
That's just part of puberty.
Sometimes, do you ever get like a weird feeling down there?
Can you imagine if we taught like maturity night at like a middle school? It's like, hey kids, my name's Tom. I'm here. I got all these
weird body hairs growing. Like,
right. You're like, it's like, kids, have any of you gotten hairs like this? And like, just a huge black bush. Like, yeah, right. Like just like a big Italian hairy ass cock. Like,
hey, kids, like running all over the fucking.
Right. I'm just like, so most teachers put up a diagram of a penis and have you like, learn the terms. I'm just going to show you with a real one. My own. And then I just put it like, literally, and then I like put it on the projector screen too.
Dude, I guarantee you what would happen is the kids would end up, it would be like if there was a bomb threat, they would just start running out of the room and go, ah!
I don't know. I disagree. I think they would learn a lot about sex and I would really give them a grade.
You know what would be better? Take your dick out in the middle of in front of the whole crowd and then like just start running around like jerking off. But like have somebody bring you a tricycle at the same time.
Yeah, right. Or like a unicycle. Could you imagine just riding through a middle school hallway on a unicycle, just jerking off with full clown makeup on, like, and like a horn? You're like,
Then when you go to prison, be like, how do you go to prison?
Right. Like,
I got a story for you,
somebody sits next to you and like, yo, what's up, homie? What you in for? It's like, well, pull up a chair.
I gotta take you down memory lane right now. Everybody be like, yo, what the fuck? This place is great.
Yeah, right? Like, they're all just like, it's just a bunch of like really jacked black people surrounding him. They're like, yo,
man, this guy.
And white guys, but remember, the white guys have to surround them separately because everything is racial in prison.
It's true.
Yeah, and then like all the like the Nazis are like, they just like surround him. Like, hey, bro, we want to see that routine. It's just like, what? It's like, we want to see the clown jerking off. It's like, well, no, that's just how I got in here. I don't do that anymore.
It's not like a stick.
It's like, yeah, you do. And then they just call him like a kike, and he's like, oh no, like, it's like, I'm not actually Jewish. Shut up.
But then the black guys come to your defense. So
yeah, I don't know, because you're still white yourself.
Yeah, but
presumably, if you committed a crime like that, you were probably
white. Could empathize. I'm just saying.
They're just like, man. I mean, I guess we could bridge the gap one day.
And then
maybe
if you can get like clown makeup in, then they just
people.
surprise.
But the thing is, if they save you, they're just gonna want you to do it. They'll be like, all right, boy, we got you, but like, we want to see the routine though. And then it's like, ugh.
Now I gotta fucking.
Then you gotta wait for the Asian prisoners to come and like do karate kicks and save your ass, and then they want to see it, and it's like it never ends.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody always says if you go to prison, the first thing you gotta do is like stab somebody, and I disagree. If you go to prison, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta rape somebody. That way, that way they know like okay. This that way,
yeah, they know you're insane. Like immediately, like first, not even like the first guy who looks at you funny. Or like shoves you, just bend him over right away.
It's just like
don't even try to fight. Just immediately
get the first smaller person.
Like don't even try to fight. Just get the immediate upper hand on the rape, and then everyone will know that you're like that.
Like that guy. They'll be like,
I mean, it's not like I'm saying I want to do that. Yeah, I mean, I do. No, okay.
Well, how do you like?
I only fantasize about it now. I'm just saying, like, it's not that you want to do that, but like if you want to make yourself look like you're a badass right away, just rape the first guy you see in jail, like,
and make sure it's everybody. Like, don't try to be a hero and get.
And like you have to go full fledged rape him.
Get the first like weak guy you see. You know what I mean? Like the first just.
No, you want to actually go for the big one. Like honestly,
I don't know, man. I disagree. All right, go point counterpoint.
Right. Here's why you go for the big one, because You want to go for the guy that's going to try to rape you. Because probably your first weekend, you're in the shower. And I don't know if any of this is accurate, by the way. I'm sure prisons are much different now. But anyway, your first weekend in prison, you're in the shower. And, like, dude walks up to you and he's like, you know, he does the whole Boondocks bit where he's like, I like it and I want you. You just got to be like, I want you too. And then just get him first. That's all. Just get him first. And then you'll have the upper hand. And you won't become. You just have to spin him around. You just got to be the first one doing it.
Spin around, and you got to take your dick out of your pants and just touch him. Be like,
just
gotcha!
Be fast, or just you could just be like a little like. Because if he's a big dude, just maybe if you could, like, just weasel under his legs and just get behind him, like, oh, I'm already in there, bro. Just jump back up, like...
just, like, right in his face, like, what up, motherfucker?
Like, what up, bro? I'm already in your ass. Like,
just, like, raping him.
It's like, you might be jacked, but I'm small enough to already be inside you.
Like, wrap your legs around him.
You're like, yeah, you're like rabbit fucking him, like, lightning speed.
While you're on his back.
Get this weapon going up.
While you're on his back. Be like, tag, you're it. And
right.
Like his ear.
Then you just jump on another guy. You just start raping some Nazi after that. It's like, get this mother.
See, no, man, I would
get this Jewish faggot off me.
If I went into prison, even if it was like for a year, I would just rape somebody. And like, what
the fuck?
Even if it was for a week. And we're like, you've only been here for a couple of nights.
If I went to prison, I don't know if I could rape. Like, because I couldn't. My problem is I couldn't get hard. Like, to rape a man.
You'd be so depressed that
I would not even that. I would just be like, it's you don't have a vagina. Like I want to rape you. Like I'm totally ready.
This sounds like you're explaining to the guy in the shower. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, no, man, I want to rape you. I just fucking...
What is it? Is it
I'm having problems.
Am I fat? It's like, no, you look great.
And they just start crying. Yeah. You're like, listen, you're the best rapey I've ever...
Yeah, listen. You're absolutely... I swear you're beautiful. I just am not attracted to men. It's like, but why do I do all this work?
It's not like, you, it's me.
I wanted it. I thought it was what I wanted. I need to reevaluate this. Maybe I need to go back to just getting raped. I
need to spend a few weeks going down that road. Well, that's why I feel like, raping a smaller person, right? You find the first person that's like
in jail, right?
Yeah, in jail. Not like out, not in the
hey, like raping a smaller person. Here's why it's the best.
I'm not saying to go out and rape a smaller person, but like if you're in prison, right, and you're like, I don't want to become fucking, the town bicycle in fucking jail, and what you do is you find the first person that's like your size or smaller, and you just rape them, and immediately they're your bitch, and you get to like just be like, anybody else got a fucking problem, and have like a knife.
But the thing is, prison is like the type of place where there's always a bigger fish.
There is always a
bigger fish. Like, then you become that guy, and then the next new guy just rapes you right off the bat to get the clout. And then he has the clout. And then somebody else has to come in and rape him to take the clout.
Nobody's going to try to rape the guy who rapes.
Could you imagine, like, if there was really this much rape in any prison, like, this would... I wonder if it was really like that, because obviously it's not really like that. I'm sure there's a rape every now and again. I don't know.
Did you ever watch that show, Oz?
No.
It's a great show.
Does somebody get raped in jail?
All the time, because it's about prison life. And it's like, it was like the first HBO show.
True.
That and
because
Sopranos.
I just remember, like, all the people I know who I've, like, talked to who supposedly know correction officers, and this is all anecdotal evidence, but they're all just like, yeah, I've never heard about any rape or anything. I've heard about a lot of fights, but, like...
That sucks.
But, yeah, it's like, aw, really?
Come on.
Not even a little?
I want rape.
Oh, you mean, like, not even in, like, maximum security?
It's like finding out that, like, wrestling is not pro wrestling.
right, or, like, it's like finding out that bodybuilders use steroids. It's like, what? It wasn't like that? Oh. But, yeah, it's just, if it were like that, that'd be crazy in, like, jail. Like, what would the cops think, like, when they're, like, taking
How would you be able to get out of prison?
How would you be able to... Could you imagine being a prison guard, taking people to jail, knowing that, like, every time you take people to the showers, they're gonna, like, get raped? Like, literally, like, it's like, all right, do you want to, like, take a shower? And it's like, I really don't. It's like, Yeah, I know, but you kind of have to.
Like, you're sticking up the joint.
It's like you do, yeah, dude, you're dirty. Like, there's nothing I can do about the fact that you're not clean, and I don't have any other way to. I'm sorry,
like,
man.
Can you stand out there? And they're like, nah, that's kind of gay.
Yeah, right. They're like, wait, could you just watch me? It's like, ew. Why would I do that?
And they just put their fingers, they're like, no homo.
Yeah, they're like, no homo, the power of Christ.
No, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like we gotta test out the theory, go into prison and find out if
we need to go to jail for something and see if we get raped right away.
Because honestly, I feel like I would be no offense, but I think I would be the one who gets raped in prison.
I don't know why you said no offense to that. If anything, you're the one who should be offended by that. Are you just saying no offense to yourself? Yeah, no offense, Jack, but Jack would definitely get raped a lot more. Well, no offense.
I'm being sarcastic.
No offense to you, I'd probably get raped as well. Because, I mean, the fact is, like...
You think you're more lovable than me?
Dude, we are both the closest thing to Megan Fox any of them have seen in, like... years, like let's just say in this hypothetical,
you got that tight ass, bro.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, I like that, boy. Whoa, I like that. It's like, yeah, but it's really hairy. It's like, that's what I like, baby. It's like, oh fuck, shouldn't have said anything.
See, I want to like.
You know what the worst thing you could say too is some people are like, well, if I was in jail and someone wanted to rape me, I'd just tell them that I have AIDS. You know what they would say to that? So do we. Like. It's like, I have AIDS. It's like, yeah, we all got it.
Think, yeah, no shit, you're in prison.
Yeah, right.
You got it on the way in.
We all either got it from each other in here or from drugs. Like,
think about they should get TVs in prison, like in their rooms.
Some TVs do have some TVs do have prisons. Some prisons do have TVs, but like it depends. Like minimum security prisons will have like communal TVs and like. You know, it's like, have you ever seen Orange is the New Black? Like, the types of prisons where you could, like, kind of walk around a little bit.
You have
and,
a little more freedom.
You're not exactly, like, you're locked up, but you're not, like...
You can walk around.
Yeah, you can walk around and, like, sit. And, like,
you have a time that you have to...
Yeah, like, in a maximum security, like Rikers Island, there's no fucking TVs. I mean, Rikers Island is basically...
Rikers Island is fucked up.
Rikers Island is basically an island of slaves. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but,
It's insane... that Rikers Island exists.
It's literally like a slave island. Like New York owns an island full of slaves. It's fucking crazy. Like,
and it's just like the worst conditions ever, and
horrible conditions, and all the labor goes to like, at least a large chunk of it goes to big corporations, and it's fucking disturbing.
And there's so many corporations that profit.
New York is all like super liberal. It's like, you guys are so fake. You have a slave island. Like,
yeah,
I can't think of another state that has an actual island of slaves. Like. But, not even just that incarceration is slavery, but at least the way it's being done on Rikers Island it is. But, regardless,
I mean,
like...
You say that, like, slavery is a bad thing.
You're like, bro, you say that, like, how do we get the pyramids? Actually, I'm pretty sure they say the pyramids were not built by slaves.
They're built by aliens?
Yes. No, they were, well, because the thing is, like, Egypt had slaves, but, like... The pyramids were something that was actually so difficult to build that you couldn't just use slaves. You needed actual professionals. Like, you needed people who knew math.
Well, yeah.
You needed people who knew math and tools.
Well, to be able to build those, like, pulley machines that would be able to get people to the top.
You need people who are also well-fed and not miserable feeling like slaves. Like, you need people who enjoy the work. So, like, it really wasn't slave. They used slaves to generally just get whipped, I think. Like, they just, like... I'm pretty sure Egyptians just had slaves to whip them. Like, I don't really know what their slaves did. Like, maybe some general agricultural
shit. I'm your slave. And they're just sitting around.
Yeah, it's like, son, this is your new slave. It's like an 11-year-old kid. It's like, hey, buddy, I'm your new slave. Shut up! Ow, okay. Like, here's the first thing you're gonna do. You're gonna clean my room.
I don't know if that's true though.
Probably not, but I mean, Egypt definitely had slaves, but they didn't build
the Jews. Why can't we build the pyramids? You know.
Well, you were still slaves there. You just didn't build the pyramids.
It's not as good.
It's not as cool. Actually, I mean, I've heard murmurs that the whole story of the Moses thing is kind of just like a. You know, a little bit of a tall tale.
Well, probably the whole Bible is fucking...
Well, I mean, a part of the story is that he parted the Red Sea and let them walk across.
You're telling me that didn't happen?
Come on, there's clearly evidence.
Well, yeah, no, obviously... Dude, anyone that... There are people that, like...
believe it literally, yes.
The literal shit.
There's people who've looked for Noah's Ark.
So many of them work in government, and they believe, like, Noah's Ark was a real thing that happened.
Yeah, dude. Like, you'll have people like Ben Carson. Ben Carson has actually spoken at, like, events denying the existence of, like, evolution.
Yeah.
And, like, that man ran for president one year. You know what I mean? Like,
I always got him confused with Herman Cain.
Basically the same guy. Actually, not really. Ben Carson's a little bit, like, smarter than Herman Cain. Like,
oh, yeah. Well, Herman Cain, Ben Carson's still a fucking idiot. Even though Ben Carson
was, but at least Ben Carson, like, at least you could give him the it's like, all right, he's a doctor, but, like, but, like, Herman Cain is just, like,
he's the CEO of a terrible pizzeria.
And he didn't know that there was a revolution in Libya when it was happening.
They named, like, their pizza place after the best Italian movie ever made. And
I remember we covered this.
Like, the terrible pizzeria. Oh, yeah, we did? Alright, I don't want to tread on old
this is all water under the bridge.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, you know, more developments happened since, like, the last podcast when we talked about, like, the insurrection attempt.
Yes, there were more.
These people were planned. Like, I disagree with what you were saying about, like, oh, these people had no plan. These people had plans.
No, but they didn't have a good plan.
They found...
The craziest thing I heard was that there was messages about...
There were plans of assassination.
They were planning to actually gas the senators because they... Supposedly, somebody from within the Capitol building was sending messages about the hallways and the pathways and like and it's just
that's
like all
a
right,
QAnon
like literally like
Congress
messages
lady.
like
she works in Congress.
Messages of like all right, like they're all in here right now. Release the gas. So it's like I agree with you that it here's the thing. They at least thought that what they were doing was a takeover. But I mean, my point is like that still doesn't mean it was a scary one. They didn't do a very good job. I mean,
I think you're normalizing something that shouldn't be normalized.
I'm not even normalizing it. I'm just like I'm saying it for what it is. It's like these people, if it was a real coup, we would still be talking about people at the Capitol right fucking now.
I'm saying it was an attempted coup.
Yeah, it was a shitty, attempted, silly fucking circus.
It wasn't a silly circus thing, dude.
But it was stupid. It was stupid. Have you seen the videos? Like, it looks so stupid, and it is funny. Like, a dude sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office. I shouldn't yell. It's not funny.
But here's the thing:
a dude sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office, a fucking boomer QAnon guy sitting in her office is hilarious. And also, a dude running around the Capitol with horns, like literally just being autistic in the Capitol. Like that's what they were doing. They went to the Capitol to be autistic.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that it was like, I mean, yeah, some parts of it were funny, but like
not even that it was funny. It was just
what I'm saying is, at the same time, it was like. Nah, man. It was like one of the shittiest events that ever happened.
No, it was shitty. I'm not saying anything good about it. It was a shitty, terrible, horrible wrongdoing. But I'm just saying, like,
and it's like
people are so really scared.
Tried to like murder and like assassinate elected members of government office. This was like a planned.
But remember,
not only this though, but this has like never been attempted. Not only never been attempted by any president, or even the idea that a president would say shit that would lead an insurrection or an attempted insurrection to the Capitol. The idea of it is like absurd.
Remember, I mean,
here's what I'm saying. I'm one of those guys that's like, oh, it's all fucking. You know, whatever.
I'm not saying it's all whatever. I'm saying like, if it was a good enough coup, like more people would have died, and it wouldn't have been just some of the protesters and cops. It would have probably been actual they're senators. The fact is like they went in there to I guess their idea was they were going to trap the senators and gas them and then take over the Capitol.
Messages on
but then, my question is,
saying, like, we're gonna
my question is, what was their plan after that? Because if one senator died, the Marines would have been in there instantly gang fucking their asses. So what was the next step? The next step is what? Fight the Marines?
But there was messages on Parler where people were talking about, like, actual assassination attempts. And, like, we gotta fucking take these people out.
No, these people need to be taken to jail. I'm not... Right. These people should all go to jail. They all committed a crime. I'm just like here's one thing I really learned is that Trump doesn't actually have any friends in the deep state. That revolution pretty much ended there, as kind of what I think. Now that, like, Biden is president, like, I really do believe this is, like, a positive of Biden finally being in office. Is like, we can at least see, like, those people are never going to go away, but I think we can at least see them lose huge amounts of steam, because it's just over. Trump doesn't have those deep state connections. Like, he's not like the Clintons, where, like, the Clintons never really lost any power, even though Hillary didn't win. Like, Trump's now has no power. Like, except for what money he may have. I don't even know how much money he really has. I don't think
everybody's like wondering, oh, is he going to run again in 4 years? I don't think he's
No way. Run. And I mean, if he's got impeached, then he can't. So
yeah, but even if that whole thing fell through, he's going to be facing so much legal fucking battles.
Oh yeah, they're going to cream him.
5 years.
They are going to bend him over.
And you know what's the ironic thing is that if he had never become president, he wouldn't be, like, facing these legal battles, because nobody, like, the only reason they, like, start looking into this shit is because he's the president of the United States. So it's like, if he's just, like, there's so many crooked businessmen that just get away with it because, like, nobody really pays attention to them. But, like, as the president, they start looking at shit. They're like, we found, you know, years of fraud on your behalf, and, you know.
Well, I mean, it's also just like,
I mean, you might get away with it all.
At this point, we're getting to the point where it's like, you know, now that he's not in office, like, now you can come after his taxes. Now you can come after, like, his, like, if you wanted to revitalize his rape scandals, you could probably come after that. I
wonder what's going to happen with, like, his...
I just don't know. Like, I think if he failed to pardon himself fully, then he might see some legal trouble. I don't think he'll ever go to jail. I mean, I truly think he'll...
pardon himself. He's not a president.
No, he can't now.
Yeah.
I truly think he's just going to live out the rest of his life, like, pretty disgraced. He may never have a lot of money again. Like, he may have enough to make ends meet through investments, and also just through, like...
Apparently he's not wanted at Mar-a-Lago.
He's not,
all the other residents are saying, like, we don't want to live with... And it's like, you kind of made your... Like, he's not going back to New York.
Well, I mean, here, look at what Trump did. Trump enabled an entire base of people to feel empowered enough to storm the Capitol. And then the second he stormed the Capitol, he completely turned on it. Like, which I think he should have done. It was the right thing to do because it was wrong to empower them that way in the first place.
He didn't directly turn on it until he was like...
Well, I mean, he basically just said,
when they first off, until, like, they were put pressure on him to do
well, no, but that's what I mean. Is like all it took was...
like, you guys are great, we love you.
But then, like, when, like, at the day after, he made a speech. And the speech was condemning it. And, like, what I'm saying, I'm just saying, like, imagine you're one of those Trump supporters. You spent the past 4 years literally, like, putting all your eggs in this basket. You've identified with this man. This man became your personality. You took pride in the arguments you thought that you won with people. You took pride in the false information you were reading. You took pride in all these conspiracies. You bought flags.
You actually bought hats. A flag off Amazon.
You actually wore hats. You wore a red hat in public. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you actually, like, you drove around with a big trucks and made a bunch of noise on the highway.
You started joining weird Facebook groups.
Yeah, and arguing with people, writing paragraphs. You did all this shit and you invested it. It truly became your soul. And then the day it all culminates into a sort of an orgasm type of experience for your side. The next day to just see Trump be like, that was wrong. You should not have done that. You will all be punished for it. I'm not surprised that, like, a lot of his supporters have, like, fully hate him now. And this is kind of my point is, like, Trump doesn't even have his base anymore. Now his base is not, it's not even Trump fans. Now it's
still
just,
going to be like those
that's people. What I mean. Now they're back to just, like, alt-right racist. The alt-right racist people that we always knew they were.
But he still has people he'll have people that will always love him no matter what.
Well, yeah, he'll have, like, Stormy Daniels.
No, but there's some people out there, like, we know people out there that'll love Trump till the day.
Yeah, Jim Ray.
Yeah. But, like, those people are so far gone, and it's like, they're probably like the QAnon people are like an actual cult.
The QAnon people, I think, I think if you're involved in that, like, you should at least be questioned. Like, that's one thing where it's like, if you post something that's like, not necessarily like a conspiracy theory, because you can make up a conspiracy theory and it can wind up sounding like QAnon, and that could be an accident.
Right.
But if you directly link QAnon information, I think that's now grounds to, like, question you, because it's like, come on, dude, like, this is officially like,
it's creepy.
This is officially like, a group that organizes to do things. Yeah, like, it's no different than Antifa or like whatever you want to call it.
Not according to the police. Because you know what they found out, and like, I'm not surprised, is like there's police that were involved with the storming of the Capitol.
Yeah,
that
of
were
course.
like behind that.
I'm not surprised at all.
And like, dude, police are like QAnon people, so it's like they have some,
Well, I mean, police do that whole like the OK sign. I've seen photos of cops doing the OK white power sign.
Yeah.
Like, it's all.
It's not hard to believe the same
it's all
group
scary,
of people.
but my point is more just like, I don't think anyone has to be scared of the big bad Trump fan anymore, because the fact is Trump's gone. His base of support is back to the rancid corners of society that they once were, and they're still breeding. But now, like, the move is to make sure we vote the right way in the future, and also just like,
I wonder who they're gonna go behind, if anyone, because.
Well, there'll be another guy. Like, I envision the next guy. Sorry to keep jumping on you, but I envision the next guy being like one of those young.
Sorry, my penis is.
My penis is longer than yours. I envision the next guy being like a younger, kind of like Marco Rubio, but smarter than Marco Rubio. Like one of those younger college libertarian type Republicans. Yeah, like a frat boy type Republican.
There are so many Republicans in Congress that are like that. They're like 25. There's one guy who's like 25 named Madison Cawthorn.
Oh,
first off,
I hate anybody in their 20s who's in politics.
Well, yeah, and also, first off, if you're a guy and your name is Madison, you're most likely a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's like your last name is Cawthorn. Like,
you're probably
your dad,
stripper. You're a male stripper.
And you lived like a spoiled. You went to private school. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like, but he's like. And then there's this guy named Matt Gaetz, who's like a congressman from Florida, who's like that too. And this guy wore a gas mask like one day to work, like as a joke, like to mock COVID.
Yeah,
like, this is bullshit, And then like a week later, a couple of like people that voted for him died in his county.
Shit.
And like
holy shit.
He's just a fucking idiot. Anyway, these are the people that are trying to go, and like Ted Cruz.
I mean, Ted Cruz is not like,
But the thing is, he's not a frat boy. But I'm saying is, those people are going to go after Trump's base of support, like, because they figure, well, Trump's gone, but all these people that voted for him, they're going to, want to vote for somebody else. But they don't realize is that these people aren't going to vote for you guys. They want Donald Trump.
Well, they either want Trump or someone who fires them up equally, and it's not Ted Cruz. Like, Ted Cruz is at best the Zodiac killer. And at worst, he's Ted Cruz. Like,
he's a slimy politician.
Ted Cruz is literally a slug. Like, nobody likes that guy. So,
you ever see that video where he had a machine? Ted Cruz had like a machine gun. It was when he's running for president, like an what do you call that? An AR-17.
AR-15.
AR-15.
An AR-17.
It's better than an AR-15. But anyway, so he was making bacon with an AR-15. He wrapped a piece of bacon around his gun, and he was firing at a target, and apparently it fires so fast that it gets hot enough to cook the bacon, and he took the bacon off, and he ate it, and he was like, machine gun bacon. And I'm like, dude, how small?
It's like
small is your penis?
It's like your parents were brother and sister. Like, that's all I gathered from that. Like,
stop trying to be like
terrible.
Stop trying to be like, I'm this country boy. You went to Princeton.
Yeah.
I hate that when like politicians try to like put on that like, I'm one of the people type fucking.
Yeah, like, I'm just a blue collar guy.
Like when George W. Bush had that ranch out in Texas. It's like, dude, Come on. Your
like,
father was the president. You went to Yale. Stop
right. It's
cowboy. You're not a cowboy.
You're not even close. Like, they'll literally be like, I'm just like you. I'm just salt of the earth. It's
I'm just a regular country boy.
It's like your dad and mom had you after signing onto a trust fund. Like, that's like the only reason.
Your dad was the president. Like, if your dad was able to control the nukes, you don't get to be like, I'm just a salt of the earth kind of.
Yeah, right. Like, if your dad had the button for like world detonation, like fucking
people like, and I'm glad that like Trump is gone. One thing, but like the people when he was office, what they kept doing was they're like George W. Bush, he wasn't that bad, and it's like I remember George W. Bush being like the worst.
No, he was pretty fucking bad.
He was awful.
George W. Bush is a borderline war criminal.
Yeah, I'm sick of the whole like. Trying to make him out to be like this cute old man.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot. Like, it's this whole like, oh, look at Bush and Ellen. They're so cute together. It's like
Bush and Michelle Obama.
It's like, first of all, Bush and Ellen together. It's like two of the most evil human beings who've ever lived in one room. And like, and then like Bush and Obama. It's like, why are you guys hanging out? I guess because you both like bombing places. Like, is that it?
They're rich. They're like, hey, I have money. Me too. Oh my God, let's talk about how much money we have.
Obama's like, so. How often did you bomb this country in the Middle East? And George is like, well, I gotta tell you, I was just looking for Osama. I was genuinely trying to find him in the name of Christ. He's like, oh, I just like dropping drone strikes.
So, Barack Osama.
Barack Osama.
Like, nope, my name is Obama. We talked about this, George. Yeah.
So wait, are you fully black? Like, what's the deal here? Like, I'm half white,
George W. Bush sounds like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, right. Like, get her done. That's just how I imagine him. It's like, so what do you think of this, George Bush? Well, get her done. That's right. Call me.
Yeah, George W. Bush.
You ever see that movie?
Like, he has more of this kind of, I'm the president kind of.
I'm the president of the United States. Strategery. You remember that? Remember Strategery?
Oh, that was, wait, no.
Basically, he was
that was
like
Will Ferrell, right?
No, it was because of a real thing. Bush was giving a speech, and he tried to say the word strategy, but he wound up saying strategery.
I remember this. Yeah, he said strategery,
and it was just like the funniest fucking shit of all time.
Dude, Bush.
Strategery.
Did you ever see that video of him being like, he's trying to get that? You definitely see that video where he's like, it's like that old saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you won't get fooled again. And like you didn't know the expression.
Yeah, right.
It's just like what the fuck. Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on! Like, I can't believe you started that up.
You know that he was like probably feeling smart. He's like, I'm gonna use this whole fucking.
It's funny that he thought he remembered it. He's like, I remembered his expression. Then halfway through it, he's like, fuck, I don't remember it. Like,
but Bush, I will admit, even though he was a war criminal, there was like a certain charm to his like stupidity versus
I always thought it was
Trump's
fun hating the president.
Yeah, because like when he was president.
It was more just like, ew, fuck Bush. It wasn't like what it is now. It was more just like you were either a warmongering crazy person who was like pro-America and voted for him, or it was like Bush is an asshole. Like that. It wasn't really like now where it's like you're a psychotic, brainwashed cult member. Yeah. Like it was literally just like you're either pro-war or you hate Bush.
Yeah.
And like I just remember being a kid and I was like, yeah, the president, you just hate that guy. Like, I was like 10. I'm like, yeah, that's just what happens. People hate the president.
And I remember even like when I was a very little kid, like I remember like when I was very young hearing parents talking shit about Clinton when he was president and like being like, yeah, fuck him.
I was too young for that. But I was alive, but I wasn't like really present yet. But I remember my mom hated Bush.
Boomer.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gen X over here. But
that'd be like Gen Z.
Yeah. But I just remember, like that whole time, like in like 2003 going to 2004 when it was going to be that next election. I just remember my or whatever, 2004 to 2005 rather. My mom was just like, we want the Democrats. Democrats are the best. Like, we want the Democrats. And, like, I was like, all right, okay, I guess I'm a Democrat.
And John Kerry was running?
Yeah. And I just remember, like, it's weird because that was her back then. And now it's like,
That's so
opposite.
strange that
It's crazy. The flip
doesn't
was
make any
insane.
sense unless she like changed all of her positions.
I mean, I don't know. I think it might have been maybe that like my family made more money since then, but like otherwise, I can't realize
like,
why.
What's crazy is that like there were people that voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012, and then voted for Trump in 2016.
Yeah,
and most people aren't. Most people aren't. I'm not saying anyone in particular. Most people aren't smart, and they don't read, or they don't have any ideas about like what people support or their positions on shit. They just kind of vote based on like somebody's personality or how they seem, or like.
Or also just in general like
name
what
recognition.
I feel like it also depends a lot on your circle too. Like your circle of friends probably do. Like I hate to admit that, but it definitely affects it. Like
definitely.
All your boys are like, going for it. Like Biden, and it's like you're really on the fence at heart, but then it's like but like I don't want to seem like a loser. They don't even have to know. You don't even have to tell them who you're voted for. That's totally your personal info.
Right.
But like. You're just like, I guess.
You want to be part of. You want to be part of like a group because
it's
people
funny
are social
how that
and they want to have like
right.
people in common. I've been to like a couple of Bernie rallies, where I exposed myself to a bunch of people.
To a bunch of underage children. It's like, oh shit! All right.
Wow. But you didn't expect that turn.
Yeah. Welcome to
Actually, I bet we did.
A podcast felony. No,
no, I've been to Bernie rallies, and it's cool when people like around you are like, yeah, and you're like, yeah, it's like there's a certain.
You feel like you're part of a team.
Yeah, exactly.
You're all working together. You're part of a big team.
We're part of a movement. We're part of something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
It's I get it.
It's it's just the camaraderie, and I think Bernie's supporters had the best camaraderie, like the Bernie Bros.
Well, dude, Bernie festival, like Bernie festivals. Bernie, they should be a Bernie festival.
Might as well have been festivals, honestly.
No, I was about to say that though. His rallies were kind of like festivals. Like they had like the atmosphere of one. Everyone was like, "Hey, man," and like people.
People were like, yo, you want to buy an eighth? Like, dude, I got you 35 right over by the tent over there.
If you looked hard
right over behind the merch tent. Like,
dude, at Bernie rallies, I mean, there was like kids there, so like, but there was also, if you looked hard enough, you could find any drug that you wanted. You
could find basically, it's like, yo, you want to do acid today? It's like, let's just go to the Bernie rally. Like,
I'd do acid with Bernie. That would be fun.
I think Bernie's like, somebody asked him if he's ever smoked weed, and he was like, yes, I did. I did not like it, and I did not get high. It's just that sucks. Like, fuck you, Bernie. That was like half the reason I would have even considered you.
I was about to ask you if you wanted to light up.
Yeah, I was about to fucking roll J, but apparently you're a fan.
Well, that's definitely a lie that he didn't get high. That's not.
Well, it's possible, like, because he probably just did it wrong.
I mean,
because you got to remember, like Elon Musk. I don't know if you watch him smoke on Rogan. He gave like the perfect example of how to smoke wrong. Because like when you smoke weed for the first time, people are like, especially if you've never smoked anything, people are like, wait, how do I breathe it? And then they just breathe it in their mouth, and then they blow out all this smoke. And it's like, whoa, you took a huge rip, and they're like, I don't feel anything. It's like, it's because you didn't breathe it into your lungs. Like you breathe it in your mouth. And then breathed it right out.
Well, it's such a brand new experience.
I
fucked up the first time I smoked. Like,
same, because your lungs are not ready for that. I was lucky to be smoking a bong, so you kind of have to. Like, you can't hit a bong. You have to, like, breathe it in. And, like, I remember it was hard. Like, people were like, just fight it. Breathe. Yeah. It's like...
Once it hits, though, you're like,
I could totally see Bernie being like, what do I do with this? And he just doesn't get high. It's just like a shitty experience for him. Like he just coughs a lot for the rest of the night. Like,
what if that was like his acid experience though, and that
I don't know if he ever did acid.
He came up with all of his like.
That's when he became a socialist.
Like the 1% control. He's just like tripping.
He's like, I finally realized how the billionaire class has been taking advantage of me.
Dude, come on, I can see
this tree fucking rules.
Dude, I could see Birdie in 1983, like at a fish show with them, just like tripping his balls out.
Or maybe in like the '60s, following the dead. He did. I wonder if he followed the dead. That'd be funny if he did.
I don't know. You know what? I probably would have followed the dead back then.
I mean, back then, yeah, I would have easily been a fucking, like, huge hippie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just the way I am now, like, nowadays, like, I don't fit the description, but back then, hell yeah, like, raging stoner, like, absolutely. I probably would have been, like,
yeah,
full on.
Had long hair.
Yeah, I would have been, like, full on peace signs, like, fucking.
You'd have a beard.
Oh, yeah, I'd be like, hey,
I've never seen you
man.
with a beard. I used to have.
You have seen me with a beard. It looks bad.
I used to have.
I don't like it.
I used to have a huge beard back in the day.
I've seen you with like your like neck beard.
No, I used to have like a beard though. Like it was
like really out.
Yeah.
Whatever made you take it away?
I don't know. It was. I did it a few years ago. I remember I did it for No Shave November. I was like, I'm gonna fucking grow out a beard. Really, it's No Nut November, but I'm like, fuck that.
Fuck that noise.
I'm into
Anybody who does that, it's like, why would you torture yourself? Like,
they deserve to be castrated.
You do not have to torture yourself like that.
You're wasting your balls if you're doing that.
You're giving yourself blue balls for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is No Nut? People are like, it's for prostate cancer. I'm like, how?
Dude, your dick needing to masturbate is like kind of like a dog that wants to go for a walk. You know what I mean? Like my dog, like he'll. Or
it's like a fish that needs water. It's like
but like
you gotta do it. Like
my dog, right? He'll go ape shit for a walk until like he'll start barking at me like, "Take me for a fucking walk already." Then when I finally do it, afterwards they're just like chilled out. He's like, "All right, I'm cool." And
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it is.
My dick is kind of the same way when it comes to masturbating.
Like it's just jumping up and down. It's like
I need to fucking.
The second it sees you get the leash, it's just like, oh my god, we're doing it. It's like, yeah, I know. And then, like, I got the leash. And then you just choke jerk. Like, you're just doing a full on Ken Park.
And then your penis just falls asleep for a while.
Yes. But yeah, no, it is like that because. Women are like, even the women I've like fucked, who I've like had like, fuck buddy relationships with, like they've, at least the one I did told me that she was like, yeah, no, I could go a long time without even like thinking about sex. And I'm like, I could go like 10 minutes.
I know somebody from high school that told me that he's asexual. And I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's a lie.
I mean, he said he was like, I don't have sexual feelings for anybody, like men or women. I don't masturbate. I don't have any like desire to fuck at all.
Does he have balls?
Yeah, he's like he's like a normal guy. But he told me this, and he's like, he even wrote an article about it once.
Really?
And it's like,
shit, he may be legit.
And I'm like, I'm an asexual.
So he's actually a voluntary celibate. He's a cell.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's a cell.
He's like, I don't really.
He's not an incel. He's a cell.
He even wrote like, and this guy's like a cool guy. I'm not trying to like trash him or anything. Like I'm friends with this guy.
Man, he doesn't want to have sex. What a loser. Dude, this guy doesn't like pussy.
Dude, we got pussy all the time. I got pussy all the time, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We got pussy. We're getting pussy right now.
Yeah, bro. I'm literally getting my dick sucked right now. After the podcast, Jack and I are both gonna get so laid.
That's what I would get an intern for.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying that I would harass them. It would be a man.
I would just put it in the description, like I'm looking for an intern to perform sexual favors for me.
I'm looking for an intern. I'm looking for like 3 interns, 2 to do actual work, and 1 to just suck my cock. And that's what I would put in.
1 to just suck my cock. Like, that's all you're going to be doing. I don't need you to get coffee. You're not going to
Every few hours, I might need you to suck my dick.
You're not going to be doing any editing work, or, like, you don't need to learn the camera. I just need you to, like, basically at, like, 11, 3, and then 6. Just come into the studio and suck my dick. That's all.
Yeah, and you can put it on as like college credit.
Yeah, right. You can use it as like to get into an honor society.
Just like, what was your class like? I don't want to talk about it.
It's like, how's that internship going? It's like, it's fine, okay? It's fine. Right. It's like, well, do you feel like you're networking, meeting people? It's like, I said it's fine!
Yeah, because meanwhile, you just get like,
shit.
Your mouth is just filled with jizz.
Yeah, meanwhile, your like lips are all crusty. You're like, I said it's fine. Stop asking.
That's what I would get though about people that like relentlessly suck dick. And I'm not saying that people. I'm not calling people
that relentlessly do it.
I'm not calling people like
they just can't stop. They're just relentless with it.
No, people that like relentlessly fuck. And I'm not gonna call them sluts or whores, but like just people that like love to just suck dick. I don't get it because like eventually this gotta like fuck up your teeth. You know, too much cum is not good.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta ruin the enamel. Like,
yeah, you
gotta... imagine you like flossing and you can't get the floss between your teeth because there's too much cum.
They should teach that during sex ed.
It's just like
properly brush your teeth.
Could you imagine going to the? Could you imagine going to the dentist and it's like your first cleaning in like a year and it's just like, oh yeah, it's like, what's wrong, doc? It's like, well, aside from your teeth, is there anything wrong with you? Are you okay? Because
maybe you should stop using your fucking throat as a depository.
Maybe you should stop objectifying yourself like every single dude you see on the street because quite frankly, I can't even find the spaces between your teeth. There's so much coming.
Be like, hey, the dick store called. They're running out of dicks for you to suck.
Yeah, right.
Play off the old Seinfeld joke.
Yeah, right. Like Anthony Weiner called. He wants his semen back or something.
Yeah, it's just like people that like suck dick all the time.
Well, I mean, it's like, here's the thing. If you like sucking dick, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it seems hard. It seems like a difficult thing to like. You know what I mean? Like, because I remember when I had a girlfriend, she would be like, sorry, my mouth is hurting. I need to take a break. And I'm like, your mouth starts hurting from it? But then it's like, it makes sense because you're just keeping your mouth wide open for like an extended period of time. And then it's like, ow. You got to like realign your jaw. To be someone who's like mastered that to the point where you enjoy it like a task, it's like, yeah, that's a little far.
They know how to give good head. Well, you know what, though? I do appreciate a good blowjob, though.
Of course. You know, I appreciate any woman that knows that her teeth should not come within 5 millimeters of my dick.
Because it's always awkward to be like,
it's like
when you're getting like your dick bitten on, you have to be like, excuse me.
You can't. Yeah, it's like, hello, knock knock. You're like knocking on the back of your head. It's like, hello, anybody home down there?
You just gotta snap at her.
It's like, hey, yeah, the teeth. No. We're not doing the teeth thing.
Give her a good tap to the side of the head.
Yeah, just a good like mosquito swat.
Just like
isn't that Daniel Tosh like just a mosquito swat or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe.
I forgot. I've heard that somewhere. But either way,
that's the thing about like how can you rape have your dick suck? Because if you do that, if you're like
can't. You wouldn't.
But if you could, though.
No, but you probably wouldn't. I mean, they'd just bite your dick off.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
That's my instinct. You bite your dick off and then bite their dick off and then run. Or at least, like...
They're not going to chase you after they had their dick.
Yeah, I mean, if their dick if they're bleeding out of their dick, that's priority number one. Like, they can't fucking... Like,
if that happens, they probably just fall down and just
writhe in pain, pass out, and then get arrested. Like, I mean...
And then you gotta be that guy without, like, a dick.
You gotta remember, like, I'll admit, like, biting someone's penis off is probably not, like, an easy task. I mean, it's like, you literally have to...
like biting a dog toy.
I mean,
it's all, like, first, and then, like, you know what would probably be more like...
It's like eating one of those...
calamari.
Or you remember one of those squishy things from when you were a kid, like, those squishy toys that had, like... Yeah, it's like chewing one of those off.
I was also thinking, like, calamari. Like, it just has that, like chewy kind of... feel but like once actually
I mean just removing a piece of someone's body, like that's intense. Determination. Like, you have to use your teeth to like rip someone's
especially
skin,
their
like
dick their
like,
dick head off.
Yeah. I mean you probably could bite their dick. Yeah. But if you don't bite it off, then they'll still be able to like chase you and shit. Like
I feel like my dick head is my favorite part of my penis. Because it's like
I like the shaft, but the head is good too.
I feel like the head I know the most about, you know? They have their own personality.
Yeah, it's like, we connect on a mental level. Get it? Because head.
Well, also, it's like, it's always the first guy in, you know? They're just like, they're the most adventurous one.
It's just the most identifiable part of the penis.
Yeah, and it's also, it's like the face of the operation.
Yeah, it's just like...
Peabody Award-winning podcast.
Yeah, right. God.
Guys, what's your favorite part of the penis?
Yeah, right.
Please let us know in the comments.
Well, I love podcasts, Orange. It's like, yeah, the head is my favorite part of the penis. Oh, God.
I want to ask somebody that, like, if I ever go for a serious interview, it'd be like, what's your favorite part of the penis? Just how would they respond?
Is it like, yeah, like you're like a CEO. It's like, all right, so how long have you worked at your last job? It's like, I worked there like 5 years. It's like, okay, do you want to? What do you think you can bring to this company? It's like, I can bring blah blah blah. It's like, okay, that's fine. What's your favorite part of the penis? It's like, what? You heard me. I have a lot of interviews to get to, so if you could please answer the questions. Like, the balls. It's like, that doesn't really count as part of the penis, but okay, I'll write that down. So no. The urethra. It's like, all right, man.
You just give it like, oh man, okay, fine, and you write that, and you're like, well, I think we've seen enough.
Yeah, it's just like, well, it's like, okay,
answer.
so the urethra.
Like, oof.
And I think we're through here. It's like, oh, fuck. You just get that heart attack where you know you didn't get the job. It's like,
they'll probably ask more like if you could identify with one part. They're always like asking. I had a cousin who was asked on a job interview, like, which animal do you best identify with? And like, I forget what he answered, but I'd just be like, listen, this is a stupid question.
Yeah, right. It's like, what would you say is the animal you identify with? It's like, dude, can you just give me a job? I really need money. Like,
yeah, I just like, nah, I'm not.
It's like, dude, like, can we just skip this? Like, I want a job. Yeah. Can you give it to me? Like, I will work for you. Like, it's just like,
I would just say, like, listen, I'm not answering this question.
My least favorite application or interview question is like the special skills one. Like, I remember Nick Swartzen has a bit from back in the day where he's like applying to Taco Bell, and they're like, "What are your special skills?" It's like, I'm applying to fucking Taco Bell. Like, I have no special skills. Like, I need beer money. Like,
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's weird though. They'll be like, "What would you say is the special skill you have that like might help this job?" It's like, dude, all my special skills have nothing to do with work.
Or you know what's?
It's like I have a special skill of finding a large amount of paleontology videos on YouTube when I'm drunk as fucking 3 a.m. Like,
yeah, like what does that have to do with UPS?
Yeah, right.
Like, applying to. You know, like, the worst question I was asked, though, I always thought, like, people didn't really ask this, but I was asked in a job interview, like, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? I was like, ugh, I
hate to, like, give your weaknesses. It's like, fuck you guys.
They everybody's gonna be like, well, you know, I work a little too hard, and I'm so humble, and...
Yeah, right, like, sometimes I go too fast for my own good. It's like, oh, well, Mr. Speedy.
You know, I'm a perfectionist, you know, that's what everybody says, like, I'm a perfectionist, so I focus too hard on everything.
Yeah, it's like, I'm too hard on myself.
It's just a fucking compliment, it's just like a reverse compliment for yourself. So I don't even remember.
I just wonder, like, what are you even looking for with that question as an employer? Like, when you say, when you're asking somebody, what are your greatest strengths and weaknesses, I just don't know what you want them to say. Like, do you want them to give you real weaknesses, or is it like a trick question so that they can, like, self-compliment, like you're saying? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, if you're an employer,
what's
would it be
the
like...
right answer?
Because if you're an employer, you're sitting there like, oh, this retard gave real weaknesses. What an idiot. Like, I'm not high. Like,
well, I'm probably not going to come to work most of the time. And...
Yeah, right. It's like, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Like, well, I have to be high pretty much 99% of every day.
I'm a crippling drug addict. I'm also I've also been accused of rape. Like,
I'm also I'm also a registered level 1 sex offender.
I don't even know if that would count as a weakness, but I would say like that definitely is a weakness.
Yeah, that's probably a weakness. Yeah, it's a big weakness.
But like, it's such a bullshit question. And like, why would you ask that on an interview? It's fucking stupid.
I just like, it doesn't have anything to do with the job. Like, you'll figure out what my weaknesses are. I'm trying to give you my strengths.
I should just say my weakness is I can't answer stupid questions.
Yeah, I should be like, my weaknesses are that I'm really bad at listing my weaknesses. Like,
I actually, you know what happened in class the other day? I was like so fucking pissed because the professor was like, all right, like, it was the first day of class. And she seemed like a nice person, I'm not saying, but, like, she's like, I want you guys, you know, I normally just go over the syllabus, but she said, like, I want you guys to all say your name and, like, talk about yourself, like, say something interesting about yourself. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like,
right,
no,
yeah.
I don't want to fucking...
I mean, like, to do that in college is, like, it's kind of like, what the fuck? We're all 18. Stop. Like,
this is graduate school.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
This is like
you're all 25. Like,
yeah, like...
Or 20. How old are you?
27.
Ooh.
We have,
sorry.
like, but people are, like, adults. Like, there's, like, it's like, dude, come on. Do we really have to? So people are like, I'm Jim, and I like the Mets, and
Yeah, right. It's like,
dude,
I'm Sally, and I knit hats.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And I'm like, fuck. So I was thinking of, like, God damn it, what do I say? I was actually about to, like...
My name is Jack, and I fuck children.
Well, I was going to be like, I have a podcast. And then imagine that, and then the professor listens to this. And
and then they hear this shit, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to have
I was about to, like, lie, though. I was about to, like, I got to make something up about myself. Because nobody's going to know the difference, you know. I should be like, well, I saved 10 puppies.
You should be like, I'm a surfer. Like, I'm a professional surfer. So, like, it's just like, oh, well, good for you.
And then but the thing is, she asked follow-up questions after every person. She was like, "Oh, okay, so you collect rocks. So which rock?" And it's like, dude.
It's like, why do you want to know? Like, are you just trying to kill time on the first day? Like, I feel like that's what that is. It's like teachers are like, "Oh, it's the first day. Like, I really don't feel like it.
That's
like,
what it is.
I don't even have my lesson plans ready. This is gonna be like a."
That is exactly what it is. It's just filling time. It's just like we have like 2 hours.
It's really just teachers being lazy. It's like, all right, like I know we were supposed to start this week, but I didn't plan anything yet, so I just need a day to just like hang out with these people and then work on the shit later. And then
when I become a teacher, I'm gonna be like, listen, I don't want you to say something interesting about yourself. I want you to go around the room, say your name, and say your favorite Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's like, hi, Sally, my grandma, like, fuck.
Be like, woo!
Yeah, give it up for Sally.
I would just give shots.
So, how did your grandma make it, huh? Was she Anne Frank? It's like, well, no, Anne Frank is, oh, right, she's dead, yes. It's like,
dude, if I was a professor, though, I would be I would hand out, like, shots at the beginning of every class. Just
yeah, right. I would be like, if I was a professor, I'd be like, look, I don't want to do that. I don't need you to say your names, but I'm gonna pass around a joint. I'm gonna pass around a blunt. Yeah, you just all need to rip it.
There are professors that will do that, though. It's like,
yeah, right.
I like very, very fucking, like hippie liberal dippy schools.
Of course,
there are professors that. I mean, you've seen Animal House. Remember when? Donald Sutherland fucking smokes pot. But like that really will, like, professors will become friends. And it's weird when you're in grad school. Like, my professors treat you even more like an adult. Like, they'll just you're like on your own time, so they're not gonna fucking
Yeah, exactly.
Bullshit.
It's very different. I mean, grad school is very different in general because you're just more of it relies on what you do. It's not like, hey, are you gonna get that assignment in? It's more just like, all right, like
they don't care about certain shit too, like due dates. They're just like, just like do the work and. I don't know. It's more like they treat you on an equal level.
Yeah, that's what my brother tells me because he's like, it's not even so much that I have a lot of assignments to do. It's more just like there's so much shit I have to do, and it's all on me, whether or not I get it done. And it's like, I guess that really is preparing you for like the world. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's why it's good. But yeah, then why do the fucking go around the room and say a fun fact? It's like, dude, we're not even doing that anymore. Like, come on, stop. Like.
It's also just, like, none of this shit's that interesting, and none of it's going to matter, like, an hour from now. I'm not going to remember anything about these people.
Every time they ever did that in college, because they've done that with me, especially in the smaller classes, whenever they would do that and they went around the class, I would just check to see any of the girls are hot.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, my name is Sarah. It's like, Sarah? Okay, not Sarah.
Well, you know what's great is that when you're on Zoom class, you get to stare at the hot chicks without being a creep. Because nobody knows you're like... Oh,
yeah, that you're literally just like masturbating.
Oh my god.
Your shoulders just going up and down like...
Excuse me, Jenny? Could you...
It's like, Jack, are you writing notes? It's like... Yeah. It's like, well, you're not looking at the paper. It's like, I have a really good memory.
Just leave me alone right now.
It's like, could you guys... I'm going to turn my camera off. You guys keep going. I'm going to mute myself too.
I mean, theoretically... You could do that because you could just turn your camera off.
You could, yeah.
Your sound's usually off, so you just turn. Could technically be.
I never join a Zoom meeting with my camera on, unless it's like people I know. Yeah, like if it's for work, because I've done Zoom meetings for work. I'm like, I'm not putting my fucking camera on. You guys don't need to see where I'm at or like my house. Like, screw you. Like, I'm just talking to your shit. Like, because I remember doing it.
It's kind of weird. It's like it's talking to a black screen.
Yeah, but fuck you. Like, I'm on the phone anyway. Like. I guess it's like for my job. It's like I'm seeing my coworkers sitting with their headphones on in their room. It's like I don't need to see your ugly ass face. Like turn your camera off. Like
you know, it'd be funny like to actually become a Zoom bully. Like somebody comes in the school like, hey, nice hat, faggot.
Yeah, right. It's like, what is that? A Mad Max poster in your room? What are you, 8?
Just like look at the little pussy.
And then like everyone just turns their cameras off. I was like, oh, everyone's turning their camera off now because I'm here. Like,
yeah, I'm the Zoom bully. What if I start? It's weird. Like if you can't do that in college because like people would bully in high school, but you can't just be like. Once you're an adult, you can't start, like, picking on...
Well, if you pick on someone, people would be like, yo, what the fuck? Get away from me. Like, like, this is so weird what you're doing. Like,
imagine just go up to a random stranger like, hey, dork. What's
yeah, right. Or imagine giving, like, a 21-year-old a wedgie. Like, you're just like, come here, loser, and you give him a wedgie, and he's like, dude, like... I'm gonna call the police.
I'm gonna file a
I'm
lawsuit.
literally gonna call the police. Like you're touching my underwear.
This
like
is assault.
Yeah, this is sexual assault. Like you're sexually assaulting me. Like,
it's funny. Like you ever watch? It's always obviously. So there's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they go to like this ski ranch they used to go to in the 80s and it used to be like Party Central, and now like nobody uses it for anything, and so this one guy comes, but he's like an old partier. And at one point, he's like, this is the part where we stare into the locker rooms at all the chicks taking their clothes off. And he's like, isn't this awesome? I'm like, no, dude, that's
horrible.
That's fucking sexual
That's
assault.
actually really, like, because you think of the scene in Animal House where, like, John Belushi's character watches the girls undress in the window. And, like, at that time, it was a funny scene. Now you watch that, and you're like, dude, that's voyeurism. That's, like, fucking peeping. It's not consensual. It's completely
it's beautiful.
It is amazing, and I would love to try it. But it's just like you look back on things like that.
Well, yeah, everything seems
like shit like that seemed funny in the 80s or even before. Like,
there's probably shit you watch now. There's probably jokes you watch now in like Superbad or whatever that like some people be like, oh, that's not politically correct. Or,
so Superbad for sure.
I mean, dude, there's always people are gonna say the same. Like any great. That's what we talked about like this to death with like wokeness and everything. But like in terms of like if a movie is completely PC or whatever, like everything becomes different. Everything changes in like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is like the movies in the 2000s were being a different level of offensive. Like they were just trying it. Like everybody was trying to be as dirty as possible. They were like competing.
Especially all the stuff about like gay people in the and if you look at like so many comedy movies in the mid 2000s, and I'm like, I love these movies, you know. I'm not like
but a lot of the humor really is just like
gay people are
almost straight up homophobic. Like literally just like, yo, it's mad funny those characters were gay, or like, yo, those characters had to do something gay. Like there was a joke in like American Pie 2 or something where the whole thing was like that the two guys had to kiss. Yeah. It's like, oh my god, they have to kiss. Like,
you know, they don't make those like raunchy like frat boy comedy movies anymore. I noticed. Like,
yeah, because they just bomb. Like, they were never that great. Like only the
there's something about Mary was the real one that like put. Well, actually, I mean, if you want to go like back to the history of all that comedy started in like the 80s, it started with like Harold Ramis's stuff of like, you know, Animal House, Meatballs, Stripes, and Caddyshack. Then you had like stuff like Porky's and, you know, Fat. And then in like the 90s, it all changed with like when the Farrelly brothers came in and they made like Dumb and Dumber, and then there's something about Mary. But then like the Frat Pack came about, which was like Ben Stiller, the Luke and Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell, and Jack Black, and all of their fucking movies. And then, you know, in terms of like raunchy, then after that came, well, also there was like the Sandler crowd with Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
But they weren't as like, I don't know. Then the Apatow people came in, like all like Seth Rogen and
the Apatow people came in. They just fucking fist fucked each other and started making out furious.
That's what they did.
That's what happened, that's the history of film in the 2000s.
That is exactly what happened. Anyway, that's the
I feel you because
that's the history of like raunchy mainstream.
It just
comedy.
went from like because it went from like the SNL people making movies to like. Just like other like funny actors like getting together and making really dirty, really sexual, really like like all teenage, college, coming of age movies.
And all the teenagers are like played by like 30-year-olds, like American Pie. Or what's that?
Even
one?
in Superbad.
What's that one with the fucking Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I don't remember.
And it's like from the 90s, and it's She's All That.
Yeah, dude.
That one.
Those kids look like they were 40.
Yeah, Can't Hardly Wait. There are so many fucking comedies.
Even in Grease, it's like you see the frown lines on the chick in Grease. It's like, yo, are you a mom? Like, what the fuck?
And I love Grease. Yeah, they are like in their 30s. That's what people need to know is that I love Grease.
Do you?
I do.
Really?
I love that movie.
Why?
I love musicals.
Greaseland, go Greaseland.
Dude. Grease puts a smile on my face. When's the last time you watched Grease?
I don't watch musicals.
See,
yeah, not a musical fan.
Oh.
I don't, and it's also like I've seen musicals. It's not my favorite. The best musical I've seen so far is West Side Story.
West Side Story is the shit.
But fucking Grease is just like, I don't know. I always just thought it was a stupid ass movie. Like it's just like
songs are great though.
Like the ending is like, here, like just change yourself for the man, and you'll be fine. Like that's it. Like look, if you have a man and he likes you, and you're a proper chick who has morals, just throw those morals away. And become a leather pants wearing slut.
No, yeah,
and you'll be fine.
That's but I wasn't looking at Grease for like. I'm not looking at it to have like a fucking serious message that I'm like. As long as like the songs are entertaining enough and the performances are good.
Are they like?
I like the what's that?
Sitting here wondering
what's that one
why oh god, I hate some of those songs.
The one where they're like on the bleachers and they're.
It's like
tell me more.
Yeah, they.
No, the best musical of all time is Singing in the Rain. That movie. That movie is like an orgasm.
But that movie's also about movies. You know what I mean? Like that movie's about like the introduction of. Dude,
that movie is like an orgasm of color. That whole sequence at the end when like they go through like these trippy dimensions and that's insane. I don't know. I want to write a musical. We should do that.
Well, I don't know why I don't get laid.
That could be one of our songs. Yeah.
That'll be our song, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But,
I don't get laid. I need to...
Me neither, man. It sucks.
You know what?
We just make this podcast.
Who needs to get laid?
Imagine we started getting laid and, like, it's just, like, the podcast just goes dark. It's like, well, I guess they moved on.
That fills that void.
Yeah,
I miss pussy, though.
I like to think that if I was getting laid, I would still...
I miss pussy so much that I hit up my old slam piece from college.
Yeah, right? How'd that go?
It was whatever.
I had to hit up, like... Because I had a slam piece from, like...
Although we use these words.
Yeah, right. Like it's like I had a piece. It's like I had a piece of meat.
It's like literally the worst term you can call somebody.
Yeah,
you're my
slam piece. You're my literal. You're like you're my. You're
the piece of
You're the piece of flesh for my penis to burrow in. Like
you're just a hole for my dick.
You're literally just like You're just like a nice slimy pocket for my penis. Like no, but like this. Beautiful and incredibly intelligent woman who I used to have sexual relationships with. Like, I mean, yeah, like a fuck buddy. Right. You know, it was like a little bit in 2019, and then it just went dark. At one point, she was just like, "Hey, like, shit's kind of coming up in my life. I'm not really down for casual sex anymore."
Yeah,
and I was like, "All right, you know what? That's cool. Like, hit me up if you ever want to just hang out." Like, we're just kind of like low key. Like, hit me up if you change your mind.
If you ever want me to stick my
if you ever want to see my penis again, like.
You just say, if you ever feel like getting your hole filled with my penis.
If you ever feel like if you're ever feeling kind of empty, just hit me up. I can fill that emptiness. Like,
yeah.
No, but it was just like whatever. Like, good for you. Like, I wish you were still fucking me, but I guess.
Listen, every slam piece relationship ends.
But then you just thought. But then I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll meet someone else. Like, I met her on a dating app. I'll just meet someone else.
Right.
But I just never got lucky again. Like, I literally I've tried the dating apps. I've tried meeting. Like, I've never found the another person. So
me too. I hate the dating apps.
Yeah, the dating apps don't work. But either way, then at one point in 2020, I hit her up again, and I was like, hey, like.
Change your
you
mind?
want to just... Yeah, right? Like vagina, penis stuff. And she was like...
Me?
She was like, yeah. And then I was like, sweet, we're back. And we started fucking again for like another few months. Basically the whole summer.
Least romantic relationship.
Yeah, right? Like, this sounds like a fucking depressing, like... Sounds like the story of two, like, junkies meeting each other.
It's like give and take relationship.
But literally, like, throughout the whole summer we fucked. And then it was like that again, where she was like, all right, now my life's getting busy again. Like, this time, like, I'm done. And I was like, all right. So now I'm like, it's been another dry spell. You didn't try to play the
reverse thing? You didn't try to, like... See, I would have... I'm such a fucking psychopath. My immediate move would have been to, like, gaslight her and be like, you know what? I'm sick of you treating me like some kind of flesh that you can come back to anytime you're single.
Yeah, right.
And then make it feel like she's being shitty to you.
Jeez, even though I'm the one who hit her up again.
Yeah, like, exactly, dude. That's what I would have
done. I'm just tired of this. Like, I tell you that stuff's coming up in my life and that I don't want to see you anymore, and then you hit me up again, and now you don't want to. I just turned it on her. Like,
I love how I'm such an asshole. That's what I would have.
That's me. That's the first place your brain went.
That's the first thing that I would have thought to do.
Well, ladies,
he's trying to gaslight some girl into fucking me.
Well, ladies, if you're looking for a good man, Jack Siegel.
Thank you.
A good man who will be there for you, who cares about you and values you as a person.
Definitely not a psychopath.
Definitely not a psychopath. Definitely believes women are equal too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like it gets to that point where it's like you can't hit up a slam piece a third time, you know.
That's
time 3 is like if you
that's
do
pretty
that,
desperate.
You might as well be playing like roulette at the casino. It's like, come on, 0 red.
Because you're very much like down to be hit by a text saying like, "Can you please? I told you no and over."
Yeah. You're like basically like rolling the dice of like getting a like, hey, like this is efficient. At this like, point, stop. Like it's like, oh, okay. Like
at that point, yeah, you're kind of like, I did that though. The thing is, like,
plus it's also just embarrassing, even if she's like, oh yeah, still no, sorry.
Yeah,
then
that's
it's just
humiliating.
Like, oh,
that's
fuck.
That's humiliating.
Yeah, right. Like,
there's no good answer to it. You're just like at that point, because the thing with that is that it puts all the power in her hands and that whole thing. You know what I mean? And it's like she's the one who decides when to say yes or when to say no. You know,
which women usually are.
You know, that's why your New Year's resolution needs to be how to better manipulate women into doing what you want them to do.
Words from the wise Jack Siegel. Words from the wise one. We're about at an hour and a half now.
All right.
Yeah, we probably wrap it up. What do you think? Anything else you want to touch on other than penis?
Penis.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that we have a new podcast in a new age. You know what I wanted to say is that it's almost ironic saying this because I was going to say, like, it's great that Trump's out of office so we can stop talking about him, but, like, it would have been ironic because, like, that would be me technically talking about how we don't have to talk about him.
Yeah, and then talking about him again.
It's all a bunch of fun. But I'm happy that it's a new age. I wonder how everything's going to change. All these, like, shows.
Well, hopefully one change is that we'll finally get this. I know I've said this a million times. Finally get this fucking podcast on Spotify. Hopefully we'll make that change.
We can do that.
That'll be a big up for 2021.
We can do that next week.
Yeah, right? Like, we can do that 2022. We'll get there.
We'll do that. I mean, I'm down to do that right now. You know, or not, or whatever.
I'm too lazy right now. Maybe.
See, that's the problem. Is I'm too lazy too. I was like,
it's just like, doing it though. Like, we'll do it. Don't worry.
Doing things is like it takes so much effort.
I know, right? Just like sitting in front of a computer and like using it is like,
It's like,